place where America's manifest destiny collides into the Pacific Ocean. A place where the fabled Route 66, the roadway of American dreams, terminates. This is Dogtown.
Look at the waves, man. They're good. Look at that. Wow. We usually go once in the morning and sometimes in the afternoon. If the waves aren't any good in the afternoon, we go skating. Go skateboarding instead. Alva. Hey, what you doing, David? Just checking the waves, man. They look good right here. How's that? I'm a trader. I have DC socks underneath my Vans. Socks are like gold, though, you know? It's like, doesn't matter who makes them as long as they work. They've got to be like, just no holes in them and hopefully clean. So follow me. We used to wear a shoe just on the back foot, and what we do is we get just a cheap pair of Keds or Vans or whatever, whoever made a deck shoe, because the deck shoes were made to stick onto the deck of a boat when it was wet, so that was what would grip really good to the skateboard, because sometimes we didn't even have grip tape either. We just had just wood. So we wanted a shoe that had a gum rubber sole on the bottom, which is what I still use, and my signature shoe with Vans has the gum rubber sole on it. So we used to wear through those really fast because we were dragging our feet a lot. So eventually Steve van Doren and his brother Paul, the Van Dorens from Vans, they realized that that we were test pilots for shoes, you know, to test the durability of the shoes. So they started to give us deals on shoes and then eventually give us free shoes.
How you doing, girls? Come on over here. I'm not gonna hurt you. Vans was started in 1966, and my dad moved us in 1964 to California, where he worked for a shoe company, and a year and a half later decided to start his own shoe company called Vans. And we just dropped the Doren for the official name, but it was actually called Van Doren Rubber Company for the first like 25 years. From there, my dad created a shoe company that our very first pair of shoes for men were $4, women's were $2.29, and they were canvas. He designed the shoes to wear longer, used better material, better rubber, thick soles, and he always made this really thick sole out of crepe. The skaters from '66 to like the mid-'70s started to wear Vans because the soles would grip the boards and they could feel their tricks and stuff. So in the mid-'70s, skaters adopted it back to the time of Dogtown, if you saw that there, with Stacy Peralta, Tony Alva, and all the guys from Dogtown. They wore Vans shoes. And our company, you could come in and custom make your shoes. You could say, I want red in the front, blue in the middle, and red in the back, and mix things around. The skaters liked having individuality. And as time progressed in the '70s, we finally came up with the first skate shoe. It was just a version of our deck shoe, but we put extra padding on it. It started here because a lot of the surfers would come here to Paul Revere after the school hours were over. We were right in the epicenter of the whole revolution of skateboarding. That's where it started with all of us guys from Dogtown, from Santa Monica and Venice and everything.
We were the first people riding these empty swimming pools.
We were trying to get as radical as we could.
People were just looking at us like, wow, what is this?
I think skateboarding revolutionized not only the lifestyle in this area, but also it revolutionized the probably the whole street kind of look, the style and fashion that went along with skateboarding and surfing. It's just kind of like a casual look, just like I guess how California is known for being, people are casual dressers here and stuff. It's casual and it's affordable, and aesthetically it's clean. The checkerboard shoe, okay, which I'm wearing today. How did that come? Well, I saw kids sitting in school and they had their legs up. And they were sitting here, and they were coloring on their shoes checkerboard. So I says, let's go take the checks on the rubber and make fabric. And then all of a sudden we made it. We got a lucky break with Fast Times Ridgemont High. They called up our PR girl, Betty Mitchell, and says, hey, we want some shoes. She sent her the checkerboard shoe. Sean Penn's wearing them, and they hit himself over the head. We sold millions of pairs of Vans because of that.
Well, you should be coming on pretty soon, dude. How much do you smoke?
This will be a little demonstration of that. Listen up. That was my skull. I'm so wasted.
Do you have an extra large?
Oh, yes, that's right there.
$10 bucks.
$10.
There it is, right there. He's got the off the wall. Yeah. Now you want a CD or a hat free? It's actually, you know, something that's just culture. It's you know, it's passion. Maybe 15% are wearing it for skateboarding. The other 85% are just, they are looking to see what a certain skater or a certain bike or a certain surfer or a certain snowboarder is wearing, and they want to be like them, even though they don't do it. And that's, you know, a lot of surf companies, skate companies, you know, strive to try to get in the minds of teenagers, and that's our audience is, you know, 12 to 20 years old, 65% male, 35% female. That's Vans' audience, and that's why, you know, at the Vans Warped Tour, we're talking, you know, today, how we try to, what does a teenage boy do? He can skateboard because he can't drive yet. He knows about girls, but until he gets a car and cruises, he can't really pick up on them. But he does listen to music, and he does go to concerts, and that's why we got involved 8 years ago at the Vans Warped Tour. And then over this way here, we actually made some special shoes I want to show you. It's right over this way here. Borba! We made some special shoes up for the tour. Just a little bit of punk rockish here with our leopard print. We made some special checkerboard, just one of a kind, just for the tour. Let's see if some of these kids like this. Girls, would you like one of these? All right.
Kind of strange that even though this started as a little kind of hardcore underground scene, that it's taken over the world. And I think that skateboarding's become so acceptable because a lot of little kids do it. They see X Games, they see Tony Hawk doing TV commercials, they see skateboard parks popping up everywhere and stuff like that. And you know, and also because of the fact that a lot of the sponsors, the corporate sponsors, have gone directly for the youth, you know, and it's a mainstream part of American culture.
Skateboarding is what I do.
Even when I'm not skating, I'm a skateboarder, you know what I mean?
It shows me that I can do something with my life.
You have to think about what you're doing, not what's gonna happen.
The more anguish I have in my life, the more despair, the more I like to skate.
I not only promote Vans tennis shoes, but my shoe, which is I'm on my third signature design that I've done with them, and it just gives me like a feeling of pride, you know, something that I've done that's successful, that kids are looking to, I think, for some sense of direction. Being at a legendary status as a skateboarder, it's kind of weird, you know, because to be 40 years old and still be a professional skateboarder.
So anyway, Tony, what's on the schedule for the remaining year? Any tours coming up or promotions?
Go to France. I'm
going to France. France. I don't know. Where?
Paris.
Oh, really? Okay.
And then I'm going to Japan for another surf and skate
trip.
Yeah.
Actually, I like this. You know what this kind of reminds me of? The old pool that used to be out in the desert.
Yeah, the nude bowl.
The nude bowl.
Yeah.
The nude bowl.
Okay, there we go. Hard work, huh?
Young people like to know where their stuff comes from. They love to know the backstory. They love to know the history of how it happened and why it happened, why it's important. And the longer the history and the more interesting it is, the easier for them it is to connect with it. So I think that's why authenticity is important. It's also they know that this is something that's gonna work and last and stick around, and it's not fly by night and it doesn't feel trendy. Does that make sense?